Tokyo, Japan. We arrived in the evening, probably between 5 and 6 p.m. We got there and got settled in the hotel, and then we walked to the area where we had reservations for dinner. This area was super cute, filled with a lot of different stores. There were actually a lot of Harry Potter themed stores, and if you've seen any of our videos in the past, you know that we love Harry Potter and have been to multiple locations across the US and the UK, so that was super fun. We did have a reservation and they are pretty punctual on time. So we had an opportunity to walk around the train station and some other places and get little sneak peeks of other things that are Harry Potter themed. Once we got into the cafe, it wasn't that big, but it is definitely themed. Super cute. It had a wand up in the sky. They have really cool drinks and really cool, really neat food that is all themed based off of Harry Potter. I would say the quality of the food's pretty medium. It wasn't anything like outstanding, but I think the overall experience is what makes this restaurant super fun. So after this, we did go back to the room and get ready for our big day tomorrow. Good morning. It's been a minute since we've done one of these, but I'm super excited because we are in Japan this time, and this is our first whole day in Japan, so I wanted to bring you along. Yesterday we flew in and it was in the evening, so we only had like dinner, walked around and stuff, and then came back to the hotel. So I just wanted to bring you along today and show you our day in Tokyo. That's where we're starting today, and yeah, it'll be really fun.
Incoming.
まもなく2番線に浅草行きが参ります。黄色いブロックの内側でお待ちください。どうぞ。
So our first stop was the Sensoji Temple. This is the gate of the entrance that we walked through. From this entrance, you are met with the shopping center, which gets really crowded, but you can tell that right now it is closed, so there's not a whole lot of people. But by the time that we were done with everything, they started opening up, the crowd started coming in, so I think we timed it out just perfect because we were able to stop by on our way out, get some yummy mochi, and highly recommend if you're wanting to beat the crowd to come in the morning. There are about 10 attractions here. I think overall we spent about an hour. It was one of my favorites. It is actually one of the oldest temples in Tokyo, so it has a lot of history and a lot of things for the Buddhist religion there that is pretty interesting. There are areas that require you to not do any recording, which is understandable due to, religious practices and things there on site. But overall, it was a pretty fun experience, and I highly recommend putting this on your list to do in Tokyo. And from there, we went to Tokyo Skytree, which again was another one of those favorites. When you're in Tokyo, you just don't want to miss it. Definitely get your tickets ahead of time. There's a long line and they are pretty punctual on it. When you get up to the top, you see these amazing views of the city, and it just is so crazy how massive Tokyo is. I've been to several big cities, and it's just crazy how Tokyo just seems so much more gigantic and huge from the sky, and I just didn't realize it when we're, down on the ground, but being up in the sky, it was pretty cool. They have different things going on in the Skytree. They actually have a lot of characters and stuff that would do surprise show-ups there in Skytree, and so a lot of people will go and hang out with them. So it's not just views here, but a lot of different things going on as well. So I definitely highly suggest doing this on your list. We did get to go shopping. It's literally right next to Tokyo Skytree. It's a huge mall. From there, we went to Takeshita Street. This was absolutely crowded by the time we got there, but I was starving, so we stopped and we actually got pizza. We did end up having a lot of ramen, I promise, and experiencing that, but I was just craving a pizza. So we had some pizza and some American food. This was actually a really cool place. They had a map hanging up of places that people were from that had been there in the restaurant, and it was super cool to check out. Down that street was a crepe place. I did not realize that crepes like this were so popular, definitely in the Tokyo area. And I'm a big, huge fan for a crepe, so of course I wanted to try it. I've never had a loaded crepe like this before. It was a long, long line, so I was hoping that it'd be worth it. And I would say it's about an 8 out of 10. So overall, I guess I would recommend. I don't know if I would wait in that long, long line again, but it was a really fun experience going down that street. A lot of fun shops and stuff as well. We ended up at the Meiji Shrine, or the Meiji Temple. This place is so crazy because it's literally right next to Takashita Street in the city, and yet you are met with a bunch of trees, and it almost feels like you're in a forest and not in the middle of a huge, huge city. In order to get to the temple itself, there's a lot of walking. I would say at least a mile of walking to the temple, and so this was us going through that walk to get to the temple. And once you get up to the temple, it is pretty crowded, as you can see. I also think it's just due to the time of day. This was later in the evening, and so a lot more people were out and about. Overall, I feel like this area is massive and can take a lot of time. From there, we went to Shibuya Sky, which, due to the time of year that we went, which was in January, I wish that we had more daylight. However, it was definitely hard to fit everything in. And from there, it started sleeting, so we didn't get much footage here at all, which was really upsetting considering this is one of my favorite places. I would definitely recommend this on a sunny day in the summer, go, or in general. The next thing that we did is we went and got ramen for dinner, which this place was probably one of the best places to get ramen, and it was in a mall, and I'm sorry, I'll have to look it up, but I don't remember the name. It was just one of those things where we saw it, we went in, and we're like, let's just catch some ramen. And it was honestly so delicious, one of the best places that I've been to, and it really wasn't that expensive. From there, we went to one of my favorite places. If you don't know me, I do love coffee. I love the smell of it. I love the taste of it. I'm not like a huge person or connoisseur of it, so don't come at me about the facts, but I did go to the Starbucks Roastery in Tokyo, which they only have so many of those in the world. From there, they do roast their own coffee beans, and they are able to then give you that coffee. So I was able to order that coffee there, enjoy it while getting to witness them making those coffee beans. So they have a lot going on here. There's multiple different floors. I think there's like 3 to 4 floors, depending on what you want to look at. So they have teas, they have coffee, they have like a liquor section. Really cool. Well, first full day of Tokyo down. It is only 8 o'clock, but we started our day at 7 something and we are wiped out. We're ready to just spend the evening relaxing. So that was our day in Tokyo. A lot going on, so can't wait to kind of do like a recap towards the end. But yeah. Ooh, not the best of angles, but good morning. It is day number 2 and we are still in Tokyo today. We are getting ready. It's about 7 o'clock, I think. And gonna go down and get breakfast at our hotel, which is really nice. I'll try to actually get some footage of that today. And then we just have a jam-packed day again. So hopefully we can get through all of it. Last night we got back to the hotel around like 8 o'clock maybe, and we just kind of chilled and got ready for the next day. We were honestly really tired, so that's kind of how the night ended after Starbucks. We did go to the roastery, and that was really cool. If you're a coffee lover, I definitely recommend going to that, just because it's cool. They have like exclusive coffee beans from there that I actually got to try in my coffee, so that was yummy. And it's just a really cool experience. They even, each floor has like a different thing, so that's really cool. But yesterday also I wanted to mention that at the Shibuya Sky, I couldn't take my camera, so because it had like a stand or whatever, and then I don't have like a wrist thing for the actual camera itself, so that was kind of a bummer. But I did get some phone footage from what I could, but it literally was very cloudy, and then it started storming while we were up there and we had to leave, so that was a bummer. So I don't have a lot of footage of that, though it was really cool. And then it started to rain, so it was kind of hard to like get the Shibuya crossing footage and some other stuff, so that was kind of like a bummer. That's what's missing from probably day one, and hopefully today we don't see any rain or anything like that, so it should be a little bit better today. We'll see. But favorite part of yesterday?
Ooh,
I don't even think I can answer that question.
I know it's a tough one. Well, we had some really good mochi and some good ramen.
Oh, yes. And they put some strawberries in. Oh, what about the crepe that we had?
Crepe was amazing too.
That was really
and we
good.
just came for the food.
Poor foodies.
Yeah.
All these other people running, being active.
Yeah.
Skip that.
I don't know. I like Sensoji Temple. That one was pretty cool.
I think that was like, was that the big one that we went to?
The
Yeah,
very
that one was
beginning,
cool.
yeah.
I liked that one. I'm trying to think.
Almost got electrocuted at Shibuya Sky.
As it started sleeting on us.
Sleet, lightning, wind.
And they
I've
were
never been screamed at so much by another woman other than my wife.
Get out!
I couldn't understand what she was saying, but I
Yeah,
could tell.
you could tell. She
She
meant
wanted us off the roof.
Yeah, that was fun. And then today's full of jam-packed things, so.
Yeah, a couple shrines. Then you got the Edo Castle, Imperial Palace,
We'll have
Tokyo Tower.
We'll have to see which one's our favorite. Yep. Well, I guess we'll do that now.
No.
We got invited
No,
to see.
I like sitting down. It's nice.
So the Imperial Palace was not open to the public at this time. There are ways to get in there and get a tour. We just decided not to go that route. We just looked at it from the outside and then continued on our journey. From there, we did have to catch another subway, which I will say sometimes the subway can be kind of confusing, especially if it's crossed with trains or like the JR Pass and everything, and not like the normal subway. So just be mindful of that when you are visiting, that it can be kind of confusing. And we decided not to purchase the JR Pass because it was cheaper to do like the just the subway pass for a couple of days. I understand that the JR Pass is probably well worth it if you're not worried about saving money or anything like that. The next place we went to was the Tokyo Tower, which was pretty cool. If you're familiar with me at all, you know that I love Paris and the Eiffel Tower, so this is kind of cool to see like the Tokyo Eiffel Tower or whatever. And so that was fun getting to check that out. Along the way, they do have more temples and shrines that you can check out. Each one I've noticed in Tokyo is pretty unique, and I would say you would love to stop by each one of them because they all are pretty different in their own way, and they're not that far out of the way of maybe like the bigger things that you're interested in seeing in Tokyo. So definitely check this out before going to the Tokyo Tower. It was free for us to walk around, so that's just something that you can add that would be totally fun on your list. Now, up in the Tokyo Tower, this was the views. I feel like it was not as high up as the Sky Tree, obviously, but it was still pretty cool. It was pretty fun experience. I wouldn't want to leave this one out, even though I have to say it may not have been one of my favorites. I may have ranked it number 3 out of the Sky Tree and Shibuya Sky. However, it's just one of those iconic places that I feel like you just can't miss. From here on Sundays, they actually block off the street and you're able to like walk through the street and hang out. It's a really fun, cool area. It's just a whole vibe in and of itself, and Ryan and I thought it was so cool to be able to like walk through the streets and no cars were there or anything. So this was a fun area. This is where we got lunch. We went and got omurice, and then from there we did walk to our next destination. I decided to stop by and get some coffee, some caffeine, and a pick-me-up. And this cute little coffee place, I definitely thought it was super cute and fun, and a little fun area. I watched little families walk by and little kids like ride their bikes and stuff. This is our destination before we went to T-Mobile, but it's pretty cool. I'll try to insert some of my phone footage. I didn't take my camera just because it's so immersive and it was hard for me to carry everything, especially since there's an area where we get wet, and I would highly recommend doing it. I thought it was cool. It's not a must specifically for like if you're trying to see Tokyo things, but I would say it's a really cool thing in Tokyo if you have time to do it. From there, we did the Joyopolis, and I didn't go inside because it cost and they were actually closing, and so Ryan went in there to ride a ride, and then we went to the hotel room because we were wiped out. It was a long day. We got the goods, the 7-Eleven goods. Good morning. It is a little before 6 a.m. Brian is taking a shower, but a day trip to Hakone to get closer to Mount Fuji. And so we're having to meet to get on the bus at like 7:30, 7:15, and it's like a 30-minute metro ride, I think, to get there, so we're trying to hurry up and get there, and they're very punctual about time, so that is what we're doing today. I'm super excited, so hopefully I get some good stuff for you all today. But day 3 in Japan, let's officially undergo. Okay, so this was technically, I guess you could say, our last day in Tokyo. However, we did not spend it in Tokyo. We went on a day excursion to Hakone and got to experience going out there. And yes, it was a full day, so we got up bright and early, got our donuts, went to our location, and got on a bus. And we drove out quite a ways. I don't remember how many hours, but it was definitely hours until our first destination. This was with a group, which we typically are not people that like to do group excursions. We very much go with the flow and kind of do as we please. So this was a little bit different for us. It was a different pace, but I would say it was still fun. It was fun to get out there and experience Hakone. First destination was the snow sledding, which, yes, I have to break it to you, this is fake snow. They do create this fake snow, but right up top of there is Mount Fuji. Yes, Mount Fuji. So that was pretty cool. If anything, I loved the view. But yes, I enjoyed this location. They have food there, some shops there. You can get some souvenirs. Again, a really good view of Mount Fuji from there. Of course, there are some other excursions where you can get closer. However, that was not an option for the time that we went. But this was the bento box that we got with our excursion. I'll try to find the price of how much it cost us to experience this. But then we went shopping afterwards before we kind of left this area. It was a shopping mall that was kind of set back on a hill. And so it had multiple different layers and stories to it. So of course I had to get some more coffee and enjoy some caffeine on the way. But it's where the gas comes up in the famous black egg. So they do have an area where you can go up here and enjoy like some souvenirs. You can enjoy souvenirs. You can try the black eggs, or you can be like me and just buy the chocolate covered candies that look like the black eggs instead of actually attempting to eat the black eggs. I hear they're not very good, but it's all part of the experience if you're willing to try it. This is natural, and it's just caused by the gases underneath the ground there that cause them to come up. It is pretty powerful, and so a lot of the time you'll have to wear like a mask or something, or a scarf over your face. It's just so intense that you start coughing and stuff. So You can definitely get choked up. So just be aware of that if you do go on this excursion. I would like to say on a scale of 1 to 10 for Ryan and I, this was like a 5 or 6. I think the best part about this whole like experience was just getting to see the view from the top and seeing Mount Fuji again. I don't really know if necessarily we were that interested in the gases just because it is just very hard to see and it looks like a lot of fog. That's just my honest opinion. But as high up on my list from there, we went to, I guess you could say it's a pirate ship. It's kind of what they referred it to, but you went on a short little river cruise. What's crazy is our tour guide said you have to get off on X, Y, and Z exit, or you'll end up staying on the boat and you won't make it back. And it was so funny because the whole time, if someone in our group didn't make it back on time, they were pretty punctual, and so they were like, we're gonna leave if you don't show up on time. So it was funny just because you had to be very on top of your exits and what time it was and getting to and fro. And I think that's why Ryan and I don't tend to do group excursions, but again, I would still recommend this one. The water was pretty and the view was nice. It was a little chilly for being in January. When we started going, the wind picked up and it was quite intense. But overall, I think it was really nice. I mean, I had to end up going inside instead of standing outside for the view. But overall, I definitely liked it, especially once the sun started kind of going down. You're so close. From there, we went to the area where Godzilla is, and because my husband's a Godzilla fan, to take some pictures. And then we also had dinner here at Shogun Burger, and it actually was really nice and refreshing to enjoy just a yummy cheeseburger. And honestly, yes, it was really, really good. I enjoyed it so much. We did write our name on the side of the wall there, and we had a friend who went to Japan and took a picture of it still on the wall a couple months later. So I thought that was pretty special and pretty unique. So maybe one day we'll go back ourselves and check it out again. And that was it for our time in Tokyo. Definitely check out our next video where we go to Kyoto.